Hey students, Dr. Quinn here. I am taking a look at Module 2. You'll notice that Module 2 goes about 2 weeks. And so you're not going to be doing everything this week in the module. You can actually go right into the syllabus and you can check out the due dates. And we have this sort of print up pacing schedule for you. You'll notice that there are 4 assignments that are due in the week. The first 2 are going to be just a bias self-check and a social annotation due Wednesday. And then the last 2, which is a quiz and brainstorming, are due the following Sunday. So Wednesday and Sunday are your 2 due dates for the week. And if we go into the modules, you'll see a little bit more than that though, because of course it's spread across 2 weeks. But to prepare yourselves for, oops, didn't mean to do that. And let me actually just view this as a student so you can kind of see it in the way that you normally see it. So if we go into module 2, the first thing you want to do is look at the overview. This self-check bias is due by Wednesday, and then you've got the social annotation in here as well. Right there, the social annotation. So those are the 2 things that you want to do earlier in the week. But again, you're still going to want to take a look at the narrative essay overview as well as prefacing material to prepare for like the brainstorming assignment. That's going to be due a little bit later. The M2 brainstorming your narrative essay. You'll notice that that's part of the work, and then the rest of the work we're going to do in week 3, and I'm going to create a video for that. So let's take a look at the overview, the narrative essay overview, the social annotation, and the brainstorming, in addition to the elements of an essay quiz. So Module 2 overview just says we're exploring personal biases and figuring out how that affects one's worldview. Okay. You'll be using multiple composing processes to generate, develop, and polish ideas, and that's where that brainstorming will pop in a little bit later. You've got some learning materials embedded right here into the overview, and then of course you can see the objectives, then you can see the assignments in here that are going to be spread across the 2 weeks. If we go into the narrative essay overview that's embedded in Module 2, you'll see that the major writing assignment is in this module is a narrative essay. So it's going to be a lot about how we feel and see the world. Okay, much of this course asks writers to think about where information has come from. And remember, in this essay, you can use I and me and we because you're talking about yourself. So first person point of view is absolutely acceptable. You're going to check out the website called The Moth. It's an organization dedicated to the craft and art of personal storytelling. And then you'll take a look at Moth's YouTube channel, where you can see some people telling their stories. You can kind of get a sense of the shape of a narrative, how dialogue is used in a narrative. Some people do, some people don't, where they relay things that were specifically said, and so on. Your narrative and the stories that you see in The Moth are going to have these 3 elements, like the stakes. What's the crux? What's the problem? What's the issue? When you're writing narrative stories, you're going to find that or when you watch TV or movies, if a couple gets together early in high school, they have all the successes in the world, they never fight, they never break up, they get married right after college, they have perfect 2.4 kids, there's no tension, there's no struggle. Those aren't the stories that we tend to follow. But what we're looking for is to see, when you let us know what's at stake, what was the concern? Was the concern getting into college? Was the concern succeeding where others around you hadn't perhaps not succeeded, like graduating college or getting into a particular job field or something where there are stakes? You need time to show the change, so you'll need multiple vignettes. And a vignette just means small stories. You'll string together little stories that make up the broader issue. And of course, theme. A single story from one's life can be told in different ways, and storytellers tend to draw out one theme. The theme of struggle, the theme of resilience, the theme of the journey. Everybody's got a little bit of something different. And your theme may not really even appear to you until after you start writing. So when you go back into the module itself, we have the social annotation. So you're going to be analyzing narrative stories, because modeling and seeing what narrative stories look like it's going to be a way to play with your muscle memory to get you in a space where you're ready to tell your own narratives by seeing the shape and the style of narratives. You've also got elements of an essay quiz. Remember, in the module overview and in the assignments, there are readings that you're going to need to tackle to help you get prepared for that. So again, let me just show you. Let's go back to this overview where the learning materials are, and you're going to go to the moth, right? So under Module 2 Learning Materials, and you go into Module 2, Elements of an Essay, which is what you're going to be quizzed on, right? Elements of storytelling, MLA style, and formatting, and then just some examples. So these are the readings that you'll want to do this first week in Module 2, right? We're in week 1 of Module 2, week 2 of the class. So when we go back to Module 2, let's go back one more time. And let's just remind you of everything I want you to knock out this week. Obviously in Module 2, you're going to read the overview. You'll do the self-check by Wednesday. You'll look at this overview. And then the other assignments that are due, this is due Wednesday, analyzing narrative stories, and then doing the elements of an essay quiz and Module 2's brainstorm, that's Sunday. So that's what will be in the week. You're getting new video from me. When you move into week 3, we'll still be inside Module 2. Now let me briefly show you brainstorming. So there are some tips with different and links to different brainstorming methods. You can submit your brainstorming as a file upload. It could even be a video recording. So you have some flexibility in how you show that you brainstormed. And that's what I'll be looking for in this assignment that's due Sunday. So that's what's happening this week. Again, stick close to the syllabus. Make sure you're following. You'll notice that we're a little bit heavier in the first couple of weeks, but as we move through, you generally won't have 4 assignments. Well, I guess you will in week 4 and week 5, but not in week 6. And then, of course, the last couple of weeks, it's much lighter. So if you get through these first ones where we're building groundwork that will carry into all of the other assignments, you're going to be in really great shape. I look forward to seeing your work this week. Reach out if you have any questions.